Hey there, YouTube. My name is Patrick. I just thought it would be a nice idea to give a post-operative update for a microdiscectomy that I had yesterday at around 2:30 p.m., December 4th, 2017. I've seen a lot of YouTube accounts from different people who have had this surgery, and they've talked about the progress they made, or how painful it was and how successful it was, etc. But I thought it would be helpful to many of you to kind of talk about what happened with me and give encouragement out there to those who might be considering it. I believe very strongly that microdiscectomies are very safe. From everything I've read and looked into, I think the biggest fear that people have about it is twofold. One is that you're getting back surgery. So it's not just some run-of-the-mill procedure. You're having somebody mess with your back. You know, you've got your spinal cord there. You've got all these different things going on, and it can be a little nerve-wracking. I think the other thing is just the fact that it's a surgery. You know, that alone can kind of give people fear and everything. And I know I've had several surgeries in my life. And I know that, you usually come out just fine, but surgeries can be scary nonetheless. But what I will say is that this is a very minimally invasive surgery. So yes, it is a surgery, but if it goes well, and for most people, I think it does. If it goes well, you come out of it, and at least for me, you think, man, was that even a surgery? I mean, it really wasn't bad. Now, everybody's different. Everybody's going to react differently, and everybody's going to go in with different problems. Some people are going to go in with emergency level problems, right? Their legs are dropped, their leg is dropped, they have numbness and tingling and terrible searing pain to the point that they're completely, taken out. I've been there. I have been there. Never had a dropped leg, but I've been there on the rest of it. All that pain that is so excruciating, or on the floor crying in the middle of the night, screaming at God, like, why is this happening? And it's the worst. It's absolutely the worst, sciatica. One thing that's interesting about my situation is that I went in without any pain at all. I scheduled the surgery in the midst of a big flare-up that I had had, and I had had sciatica pain for about 2 years, so I knew it wasn't really going away, and the MRI showed that, or it showed a pretty big herniation. But for whatever reason, about 2 weeks prior to the surgery, all of my pain disappeared. I mean, completely disappeared. And it was a mystery to me. And I really questioned, like, should I go through with this? I mean, why would you go through with a surgery designed to relieve you of pain if you're not feeling any pain, right? But after talking with all kinds of friends and family about it, it just made sense. No, this pain will come back. It's temporary. And we know that because, again, my discs, you can see it in the MRI, they were definitely degenerating. For my age, I'm 36 years old. The discs were showing as degenerating just due to age. I mean, the disc isn't going to suddenly unherniate itself, especially when it's a really big herniation. It'll come back. Now, yes, in some rare cases, okay, herniations you can just go on with your life and they don't hurt anymore. I was pretty confident that wasn't going to happen to me. I was a guy who it would flare up, then it would go away for about a month, then it would flare up, then it would go away for about a month. So I was in a down period for sure when I went in for the surgery. The other thing that was kind of strange about it actually was the fact that it really was no pain. I mean, it was like, usually when I was in a lower period with no pain, it would be 2 or 1 on the pain scale. This was 0. Less than 0. It was like, I'm normal again. So it was just really strange. But I had an epidural steroid injection about a month before. And so my theory is, and the doctor agrees, that it just took a little longer for it to kick in than normal. And then once it did, it kicked in. So that is likely what happened. I went in. I was a little nervous, of course. But then I was surprisingly not nervous after that. I don't know. I think I prayed a lot about it. I think God just gave me a lot of strength. And, as they were wheeling me into the operating room, I was pretty pretty confident and not even really scared, to be honest. I'm not sure what happened there because usually I get nervous. Um, the operating room was very impressive. I was fully lucid when they pulled me in there. I went under right away. I mean, you know, they put on the mask, you're out. I wake up. I had some chills because I was cold when I woke up. And I felt a little bit of pain, but not much. Maybe a 6 out of the 10 scale. I mean, it was enough that I needed some medicine, but it wasn't. It wasn't like I woke up and I'm like, oh God, what has happened to me? You know, nothing like that. And then they warmed me up with some heat, gave me some medicine. I'd say about an hour later, the pain was down to maybe a 3. They took me to the recovery or to the post-op room, saw my wife and everything. I was in great spirits, super happy because it seemed like the procedure went really super well. And the pain was low. I mean, there was no sciatica at all. Now, I went in with no sciatica, but I was a little worried that there might be a complication from the surgery, you know, maybe like a really inflamed nerve just from being pushed around a little bit. But none of that ended up being true for me. At least not at first, you know. It's just only about 24 hours since now, so that could flare up this week. But as of right now, no pain at all, in terms of sciatica or deep back pain or anything like that. So in the post-operation room, it was a nice experience because, like I said, the pain just continued to decline till it got to about a 1. I was able to stand up right away, push my feet back and forth. They did all the tests, emptied my bladder, everything was fine. And then after that, you know, it was they set me free. And honestly, other than feeling a little weak from surgery, you know, you're tired, your body's been anesthetized, so you're definitely a little bit out of it. Other than that, I walked out of there practically. I mean, they wheeled you out because they have to, but I mean, it really wasn't bad at all. It was shockingly not bad. Now, like I said earlier, everybody's different. Everybody's going to have a different experience than I did, because no one is alike. But I do think that if you're relatively young, like I am, I mean, I'm 36, you know, 36 to one person can mean one thing and then it can another. So your own health will tell you something. But also, I'm not a smoker and I only drink occasionally. My body's in pretty good shape. My core is okay. It's not super strong, but the doctor said I'm a good candidate for this because he doesn't expect anything to go wrong. But I tell you what, if you are even remotely thinking about this surgery, whatever you think it is, it's probably not as bad as you think it is. Even if you have a good idea of what to expect, even if you don't think that it is going to be a failure or anything like that. Like, even if you have a positive attitude, it's probably going to surprise you. If I had to guess, I think if you have a competent surgeon, I think it will surprise you how minimally invasive it really is. I had an orthopedic surgeon, and he was excellent. You know, almost everybody on YouTube has been saying they had neurosurgeon. So I was a little apprehensive about going to an orthopedic surgeon, but from everything I read, it's about the quality of the surgeon more than it is about neuro versus ortho. And the surgeon that I went with had a really good reputation around town. I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and people drive here from all over to get this surgery from Dr. Shugart here in Fort Wayne. But yeah, it's amazing. It's just amazing. I've had four other surgeries in my life, just various different things, and they all were worse than this one by far. So yeah, a little bit about coming home. Again, I've been walking around with no pain. It's been really nice. I've been taking a little bit of medicine, but I mean, hardly any pain medicine yet. I'm a little sore today than yesterday. The incision site feels like a scratch on my back. It doesn't even feel like a serious incision or anything. I don't know, maybe I'm really lucky, but this surgery went very, very well so far. I'm confident that if I follow all the rules that they've given me, that it won't re-herniate. you know, chances of that typically are about 5% anyway. And that usually happens in older folks with more health problems. I'm told they tend to herniate a little more, reherniate a little more than people my age and younger. So I'm pretty confident that this is going to go well. Probably my biggest apprehension of this whole thing in this process was, should I really get surgery if I'm feeling so well? But the doctor came to my wife when it was all over while I was still in the recovery room, and he said he removed a whopper size of a herniation and that it was a miracle that I walked in without pain, which again tells me it must have been the steroid injection that had helped with that. I am absolutely 100% glad I got the surgery, and I am looking forward to a life where I don't have to worry about sciatica pain rearing its ugly head or just sort of hovering in the background mildly. No, no more. I can put my kids on my lap again, and not yet. I'm gonna have to recover, but put my kids back on my lap again and be able to hug them and not feel my leg catch fire every time. It's gonna be amazing. So, if you're considering this surgery, please, 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 don't be afraid of it as much as you might be. Definitely do your due diligence. Make sure you get a good doctor. Make sure you do all your reading on the subject so you know what you're getting into, and follow the rules that they give you. Take the medicines they tell you to to take. Do all that, and you'll be just fine. So I hope this helps some people. I'm going to give another post-op maybe next week, but just because I do assume that I might feel a little more pain in about sometime this week. I've heard almost all of the other people I've seen online talk about this have said so, so I'm kind of expecting that. But I don't. I mean, I'm at maybe a 1 right now, maybe a little less. So if I get any pain, oh well. I'm sure it won't be as bad as the worst sciaticas or muscle spasms that I had in the past. So staying optimistic and. Yeah, looking forward to a good future for myself and my family. Okay, that's all I've got for now. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you for the next post-op videos. Thank you.